in Watch Dogs Legion is you can recruit anybody in the city of London. And now, if you haven't noticed, Brian and I, though worldly we may seem, are in fact big stupid Americans. So most of what we know about London, we learn from like movies and TV and pop culture and children's books. So we decided to make our ultimate list of who we wish we could recruit in Watch Dogs Legion, but based on our sort of limited understanding of who we might actually find in London. So
based on our cultural aesthetic of being corn dog simpletons.
Yes, we are a couple of real county fair buffoons. So on that note, one of the people from the good old UK that we're fond of is Jason Statham, and he's a badass. Like, he does all his own stunts. He can do like sideways pull-ups off of the sides of flagpoles. Like, he could probably grate a nice Parmesan cheese on his own abs. That man is terrifying and impressive, and he would probably be. I don't know if he even like. He's played a hitman plenty of times. Like, he's been in lots of hitman movies, but I think that he probably could very easily kill someone if necessary. So I think he'd be a very good person to recruit in Watch Dogs Legion. He's like an obvious, very, very reasonable, tough guy to have. And also he can do car stuff. He can transport things.
Yeah, he's also, he's sort of like unassuming, I think. Like, you see this guy and you think he's like the strongest man in the world, but he's mostly just kind of like he's a sort of short-ish bald guy, and I think he could use him to sneak into a lot of things. He could say that he's a police officer. He could say that he's a repairman. There's a lot of opportunities here.
Yeah,
and to get him to blow up the car.
So we definitely would want to have Jason Statham on our Watch Dogs roster. So let's count him in there for sure. There he is. He's got his weapons. He's got his gun. He's got his shredded abs. So next up, we want to get a soccer hooligan, a football hooligan, as it's known in the England. So Vinnie Jones, former footballer himself. You may know him as the Juggernaut from X-Men 3: The Last Stand, or from being Vinnie Jones in many movies, such as like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, or Snatch. He's a wonderfully terrifying man. I believe at one point he had a world record for like the fastest disqualification in a football match because he grabbed the dude by the junk. There's like a whole it was in like I think 1988, and he just was like. He just wasn't having it. He's a terrifying badass of a man, and I don't know if he's actually like a hooligan, but he'd make a good one. He played a good one. He was in Eurotrip, which I think is an underrated film. It's a stupid film, but there's a whole scene in there that like the outtakes in the credits of that is just Vinnie Jones shouting at traffic, like. Much like you did in Watch Dogs, he takes his giant British bus and he decides to go to France and drive on the wrong side of the road. And he's like, you're all driving the wrong direction. He just screams at them for Max,
10 minutes. There's
straight.
A reason for that, and that's because Vinnie Jones is actually my father, and I've never told you this before.
There is a striking resemblance now that you mention it.
Can you pull up that picture of him again? Let's see if we can do this. I'm going to try to line this up.
There it is. Yeah, but yeah, in Watch Dogs Legion, are we gonna? Yeah, that's yeah. No, he looks like he plays more football than you do. But yeah, no, in Watch Dogs Legion, you can actually recruit football hooligans, and one of the things that they are able to do is either get super tough from pounding big pints of bitter, and they can also call up their friends. Like, they can call up a bunch of other football hooligans who will show up and just start breaking stuff. So that's a thing. Moving on. Obviously, this is Watch Dogs, is a futuristic world full of all sorts of high-tech stuff that needs to be hacked. So we need a hacker. We need Boris from GoldenEye. We need to get him in there. He's the perfect addition to our Watch Dogs Legion team. Boris from GoldenEye, the hit 1996 or 5 film.
Yeah, first of all, I can't see Natasha from GoldenEye without thinking about her getting killed thousands of times in that game, and me not being able to protect her. But also, I don't think Boris is British.
No, Alan Cumming played him. He was Scottish, so he's close enough. He's UK resident. You could find Alan Cumming hanging out in London doing plays and stuff, being in all sorts of films, playing Nightcrawler. So yeah, we get Boris the hacker.
But he's not a real hacker though. He's just an actor.
I feel like I don't know. Alan Cumming could be a hacker. You don't know that.
No, I'm pretty sure he's not a hacker. I feel like.
All right. Okay. Fine. Okay. So if you don't believe that he is actually a hacker, how about we get the creator of James Bond, Ian Fleming, who is long deceased, but could now be a ghost, and he could be a ghost who's also a spy because Ian Fleming created James Bond and also was infamously basically James Bond. Like he did all sorts of crazy stuff in World War II, did all kinds of spy stuff. And I feel like if he's both a spy, a best-selling author, and a ghost, he'd have all kinds of crazy abilities. So
if you could dip in and out of the paranormal realm to walk through walls and exist in the outside of the metaphysical, why would you have to hack a computer? I feel like you could just show, like if you needed to get somebody out of jail in Watch Dogs, you just walk through the wall and open up the, you know what I'm saying? Why you have to even go on a laptop or phone?
That's a great question, Brian. Anyway,
when did he will he even know how to use a computer? Like when did he die?
It was a good while ago, yeah. But I don't know. I think the Ghost of Ian Fleming should be. I think that maybe he should get his own video game. Anyway, moving on. Helen Mirren, who's actually, she plays Jason Statham's mom in the Fast and Furious films. But like Helen Mirren's she's just a badass. Like she's just incredible. So let's just get her in there. You can totally have like badass old ladies in Watch Dogs Legion that you can recruit them. I don't know what their powers are. I think some of them might also be former spies. Some of them might be like secret dominatrixes. Some of them might be movie stars. I don't know. Like there's all sorts of stuff. But I'd love to just hang out with Helen Mirren. Dame Helen Mirren.
No, she's wonderful.
Yeah, no, she's phenomenal. All right, so Helen Mirren's here's her on Colbert, just going in there, just smooching him. Look at that. She doesn't give a damn. Look at her. Who cares? Yeah, Helen Mirren. He is frozen. She hacked him. Look at him. He's been disabled. Anyway, moving on. Helen Mirren, definitely got to get her on there. Here's another one. You got construction workers. Bob the Builder. Got to get Bob the Builder in there. Yep.
Bob, is he British?
He is, yeah. I looked into that. He is. I think they wanted... No, I did. I Googled it. It's also... I don't know if you've seen this, but I think he keeps going through weird larval phases where, like, the earliest versions, he's this, like, fetus claymation man like this. And the more recent ones, he's like a very realistic computer-animated teenage boy, which is confusing on so many levels. But here's an old version of him where he's British. He's trying out his new shoes. He's like a truck romancer. Like, he can talk to vehicles.
Did you say truck romancer?
Yeah, but like necromancer, not like he romances the trucks. I meant more like, like he's able to command them because he can speak to trucks. I hope he doesn't eat that sandwich that fell on the ground. That's disgusting. Anyway, so Bob the Builder, good fit. In all seriousness, in Watch Dogs Legion, there are construction workers, and they can control all sorts of construction drones, and they can walk around at construction sites. Though I don't know if any of them can actually talk to the trucks. Who can say? So he's a sure thing there, and we are really showing the breadth of our knowledge of the famous people from the UK. Next up, we've got a classic robotics expert of Wallace from Wallace and Gromit of Aardman Animations films.
This is a stretch.
No, it's not. He makes robots in like all those movies. He makes robot pants, robot dogs. I love those movies.
I feel like he'd be like a bullet sponge too, because he's clay. I
don't think he's supposed to be a man.
But no, he's clay though.
That would be really upsetting to just be like, here's a clay man who has robot legs. Anyway, so Wallace seems like a good fit. He's a definite thing right there. In Watch Dogs, there's also there are street artists. We saw that in my last demo. You can go up and spray paint people in the face. You can throw paint bombs. You get paintball guns. One of the most famous street artists from the UK is, of course, Banksy, who likes to do all sorts of, he likes to do those stencils that are like, they look like they could be threadless tees. And he likes to exit through the gift shop and really show us all a lesson about how foolhardy we've been in our society.
It's Mickey Mouse, but he's really a rat because that's worse than a mouse.
Yeah. It's soldiers, but instead of guns, they're holding musical instruments or ice cream cones or flowers or something. Anyway, it makes you think. So moving on, we get Banksy in there, and also no one knows who the hell he is, or I don't know if they care anymore. But there he sure, why not? Banksy sold. Now we're talking. We got to get some anarchists in there. We got to get some people who have no respect for the rules or for society. I want Mr. Bean. I want Rowan Atkinson, the Bean himself. I want him to show up and just start wrecking everything, doing stuff wrong. Is he doing it wrong on purpose because he's a fool, or is he doing it because he's trying to destroy society from the inside?
I have to send you that clip of him making a sandwich on a park bench using like entirely his pockets and shoes. It's really great.
He's a disaster, but I think he knows it. I think he's doing it. I mean, obviously he's doing it on purpose because he's a fictional character and a comedian, and that's the joke. But imagine this man in reality. Like, imagine someone who would just be this like, he knows what he's doing. He's going to destroy us all. He's going to take it down from the inside. Like that's like a Watch Dogs move right there. Just like spilling on someone's computer with your latte, and then, yeah, okay. So yeah, we got Mr. Bean. I think it's a good fit. And finally, one of the most destructive people ever to walk the streets of London, the infamous Paddington Bear, one of our favorite films. He's a transplant. He comes from darkest Brazil or something. He comes from South America, but he knows how to make marmalade sandwiches. He knows how to completely just ruin everything, whether that be your upstairs bathroom or your plans to steal an old picture book or whatever the plot was for those films. Love that bear. Love that bear so much. I would love it if they had Paddington Bear in Watch Dogs Legion, just somewhere, like, just, I don't know, drag and drop a bear from Far Cry and just put it in there and let you hack the bear and be the bear. Let me get the bear. That is I guess having a bear be your friend is more of a Far Cry mechanic though. So anyway.
Have you ever had a marmalade sandwich?
No, that's one thing I haven't really sunk to in quarantine. I keep considering it though. I did look up marmalade recipe and I was like, oh, that's really just like sugar, butter, oranges. Like,
yeah.
You just melt a bunch of fruit in a pot.
I think if this goes on for another 3-4 months, I think we should do like a Paddington Day where we just like stand around naked in our homes, mess up a bathroom, and eat marmalade sandwiches.
I'm all for it. Let's just start tearing shit down. I'm into it. Paddington Bear, everybody. Anyway, that is our bizarre, weird roundup nonsense of our wish list of DedSec operatives for Watch Dogs Legion. Watch Dogs Legion is out October 29th. It's coming to Xbox. It's coming to Xbox Series X. It's using smart delivery, so you only have to buy it on one system, and it goes to the other one. Easy peasy.